Welcome back into North Dakota. Today we are cooking with Cashway. Now, Randall, before we went to break, we made our
Tapenade.
Our tapenade.
That
our
was pretty
paste.
quick, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. It was a nice, brisk, easy process there.
That was the fast part of our meal today.
Yeah, I was going to say it looks like a bit of a more difficult process coming up now.
So what we're going to do now is we're going to make a pasta using that.
Okay.
Now, one thing that about a tapenade is that it's a perfect thing for maybe a bruschetta.
Okay.
Or a crostade or crostini.
Mm-hmm.
You could use it in like a dip of some sort, maybe cream cheese or goat cheese or something like that. So there's a lot of places where you can use something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Also, it's really good for like a cold pasta salad.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So there's
a
lot of really cool uses.
All of the stuff we make is very versatile.
Right. So what we're going to do is we're going to make it into a meal or a hot meal.
Love that.
Now, the one thing about olives in particular is you don't want to really cook them because there's a lot of brine in those, and those are going to make it kind of gets real strong.
Makes sense.
Right. So we're gonna add it in a very different way.
Okay.
Okay. So I've dropped the pasta, and we're gonna heat that up into here in just a second. But what we want to do first is we want to siphon out some basil.
Okay.
So we're going to take a couple of leaves, and we're going to roll them up.
Oh, I've seen this.
Yes, yes. And so this is a very classic technique called chiffonade. So roll it into a little roll, and then cut little strips with it.
Gotcha. Let me grab it.
Yeah, just want two leaves will do it.
I was finding two perfect leaves.
Oh, wow, you're very picky.
I'm a perfectionist when it comes to my basil.
While you're doing that, I'm going to season our shrimp.
Okay.
So these shrimp have been, they were frozen at one time. I thawed them. I drained excess liquid from them, and then I patted them dry.
Gotcha.
Because if you're going to go to saute shrimp, whether you grill it or bake it or roast it or whatever you're going to do with shrimp, wet shrimp will not saute very well.
Right.
It will just boil, and really that's not a good thing for us to experience.
Right.
Boiled.
We don't want that.
Now, you can boil shrimp in water, which is a different kind of thing. All right, but we want a little crust on that, little color. Okay. So what we're going to do is we have our heat on. We're going to kind of turn that up a little bit.
Things get
and
warm.
our oil is going to get a little warm. So are you going there? You go. Okay. And then
Oh,
what
we're
we're going to do is I'm going to give you a fork. And we're going to just kind of, I'm going to move my shrimp over into my pan.
Okay.
Okay. And then I'll turn it over to yours.
Please, thank you.
Okay, now don't be afraid.
I'm not afraid. I ain't afraid of no shrimp. They are very poppy.
So one of the things you want to do is just move your pan away from the heat. That will cool it right away. And we can turn it, okay? Now, you're about to, ready to flip them.
Okay.
So what I like to do is just kind of move them around. And we'll just kind of very carefully flip them.
Okay.
You want to give that nice initial heat because that's going to help us with browning.
Okay.
And then we're gonna cook them until they're just firm.
Gotcha.
All right. So now these are Argentine wild pink shrimp. So let's kill your heat. Now we're going to take our lemon. You have 2 lemons right there, and we're going to add a little lemon juice to that.
They're still popping like crazy.
Okay, now that helps stop the cooking. All right, now we're going to add them to this bowl right there. Now, in the recipe, this calls for 2 pounds of shrimp, and that's a lot of shrimp. Put all your juice in there.
Oh, don't forget the juice.
All that. That's very important. Kind of one of those things where you can cook the pasta while making the rest of this.
Right.
So whether you pre-cook it or not, that's up to you.
Gotcha.
Now, the residual water that comes off that pasta is going to give us some liquid in there, and then we're going to add about a 1/4 cup of each one. In the recipe itself, it calls for about 3/4.
Okay.
So then we're going to just kind of mix this around.
In there. Okay. Is there a certain consistency that you want the I forgot the words, so I'll just say paste.
All I want to do is really distribute it.
Okay.
That's really kind of the goal here.
Gotcha.
And really, the reason I'm not doing it in the pan is because I don't want it to cook.
Makes sense.
All right, I just want to heat it up or heat it through.
Plus, I feel like we made that shrimp really well. That looks really good. Ooh, that was a nice little flourish there
Now,
on the plate.
If I had a fork,
I'll take that one.
Yeah,
that one was me.
That's my high spring tongs right there. And then we're going to do, we had 5 shrimp each.
I love that we kept track of how much shrimp we had.
Well, you know, in the industry, we kind of go on odd numbers.
Oh, okay. Makes
It
sense.
tends to, you know, be the way we go.
Makes sense.
You know, honestly, I'm really not sure why we do that. It's just something
It's fun.
that
It's
I've
kinda fun.
always kind of done, and it's kind of like the rule. As to why it's the rule, I really don't quite know.
It's fun.
And then what we could do is, you know, you could also drizzle a little bit more olive oil over this.
Just kind of add a little bit of.
And then,
I had
and
to chop
then
my basil up a little more. It wasn't very.
we're gonna do a little basil chiffonade. No, I like your basil.
That's good looking basil.
And then we're gonna give it a little Parmigiano.
Ooh, nice.
And there we go, kids. That's
Looking
it.
lovely. All right. Should we bring them to the center here?
Yeah.
To try.
Thank you.
Here you go. After you.
So
Nice.
yeah, I love angel hair is one of my favorite pastas. It's just so delicate and light, and then I love it with shrimp. So one of my favorite ones is just with fresh tomatoes in the summer, and then a little garlic, olive oil, and shrimp. So nice.
That's very good. There's a lot of flavor. That's awesome.
And if you wanted to go a little heavier on that, but sometimes I think people have this idea that pasta has this really thick sauce on it, and it doesn't. I mean, here you're going to get that nice flavor of the shrimp, that delicate but briny quality comes through on that tapenade, and then the pasta. So you know, it doesn't have to be real complex.
No, that's very good. We're going to keep snacking on this. Thank you for joining us. Catch us next time. We're cooking with Cashway on North Dakota Today.